What's up, guys? King of Duels here, coming at you with a video that's been long awaited for a long time. Obviously, I didn't come out with any videos for a while because Christmas, and I don't have a camera anymore. So a lot of my videos are probably going to be online, with the exception of box openings, because it's much easier for me to do videos online now anyways. But I just wanted to do a little quick deck profile on my Chaos Dragons. It's pretty much generic Chaos Dragons with the exception of 3-dimensional Alchemist and 3 Call of the Haunted. I really wanted to play on the fact that with the dragons, you can remove from play light and darks at will from your graveyard whenever you want. So you mill a whole bunch of broken light and darks, like you mill BLS, you mill Gores, you mill Dark Arm Dragon, all these broken cards, and you remove them to special summon any of your other Chaos monsters. You're like, oh, I milled BLS, that sucks, right? Wrong. You remove it to special Light Pulsar, Dark Flare, you summon Dimensional Alchemist, or you have a Dimensional Alchemist in the graveyard and you hope they have the MST in hand, because these two cards go together so brokenly. This whole deck, the only reason Call of the Haunted's in the deck is because I run 2 Card Trooper, Sangan, and 3 Dimensional Alchemist, all cards that can play on the fact that if they MST Call of the Haunted, I can just chain it, target any of the 6 monsters in my deck if they're in the graveyard, and each one of them will give me a the +1 because they'll minus from their MST, and it'll give me a broken +1. Oh, Dimensional Alchemist is so good. I don't know why people don't run it in Chaos Dragons. Nobody's really tried. It's the best card in the deck. Call of the Haunted and Dimensional Alchemist are just the best cards. It's just game changing when you go, okay, I have a pretty slow hand, right? I got Gores and, Raikou and stuff. Set Raikou, they attack it. You summon Gores when they attack with their other monster, and Raikou and Gores go to the graveyard. You remove them both for Dimensional Alchemist. Well, you remove them both for Light Pulsar, and luckily off of your Raikou mill, you mill the Dimensional Alchemist, so you set Call of the Haunted, and you're like, okay, it's live now. If they got the MST, I win. You skip your turn, you pass, and after your battle phase and all that, obviously, and they go and they MST Call of the Haunted, and you win. You immediately win the game, because you chain Call of the Haunted, target Dimensional Alchemist, it special summons, MST resolves, destroying Call of the Haunted. Dimensional Alchemist goes in the graveyard, his effect activates, you get Gores back to your hand, and you just win the entire game, because you Gores twice. You don't come back from 2 Goreses. Gores is at least a +1 most of the time, because it takes so many cards for your opponent to get over such a big, like a Gores and a big token. It's going to take, your opponent's going to have the nuts to get over like a 3k token and like a 2500 beater. But everyone knows that. But double using Gores in a game is going to immediately win you. There's no coming back from that. But let's stop rambling and go into one of the replays. Alright. This is not the right replay. This is the right replay. This is the last game that I did with the deck. I just did it and I was like, this game is just so nutty. I wanted to put it on here. So this is my starting hand. Let me swap. This is my starting hand. Pretty broken double Call of the Haunted. I'm like, okay, let's he goes first. So I'm like, okay, what's going on? He summons Lila and I'm like, maybe it's Chaos Dragon mirror match? He mills 3 Constellars, and I'm like, oh god, this is a hybrid that I haven't seen yet. So I go, okay, I got Call of the Haunted, 2 Call of the Haunteds in my hand, gotta make them both live. Tour Guide into Sangan, overlay for Giga Brilliant to have the light target in the graveyard just in case, for whatever reason. Dechats to Sangan, now both of my Call of the Haunteds are live. Well, they're at least going to give me a +1, because if they get MST, they're going to just completely win me the game. So I just attack into Mirror Force with Giga Brilliant, and I'm like, whatever, I don't care. I have monsters. So I'm like, I could, do some more stuff, but nah. Set 2 Call of the Haunted, because I was like, if he has MST, he's going to pop 1 Call of the Haunted, I'm going to chain, get the Sangan search. Then he has the Lila, which he's at least going to turn Lila sideways and give me another +1 off of that. So I was like, if he has MST, I'm going to just cry in like, joy. So, he draws. I don't know what he drew, obviously, but sacked Monster Born. So he uses Lila to blow up one of my Call of the Hondas. I'm like, yeah, so early on, he's gonna do it. So Sangan comes out, Call of the Honda goes to the graveyard. Sangan searches Card Trooper, best card in the entire deck. I'm gonna say that about like all the cards. And he uses this broken +1, where he targets 2 Concealer monsters in the graveyard and adds them to his hand, but he can't battle phase. Oh, watch. I'm just like, okay, cool. You can't kill me this turn. I have the nuts in my hand. I'm gonna just murk you. So I'm like, okay, Card Trooper, draw a Dark Flare Dragon. I'm like, oh my god, you lose, sir. So Card Trooper, middle 3 cards. Unfortunately, they were all dark monsters. Look at that. So I only had 1 dark monster in the graveyard. So my play was remove Dark Flare, send the other send Light Pulsar something to the graveyard, Eclipse Wyvern, you know, remove it, special, red empty, blah blah. But unfortunately, he had Book of Moon. So I was like, I don't have another light in the graveyard, so I can't do anything. I had Call, but I was like, what am I going to bring back with Call? So I was just like, okay, pass. For some reason, he goes, even though it's a spell speed 2 effect, he didn't know that he could chain it. So he just goes battle phase, and then he just uses its effect to make it unaffected by spell and traps. Which I'm like, okay. Call the Hunt is not going to hurt you anyways. So he attacks Dark Flare. And I'm like, okay. If that's all he's got, this is just over. Over so hard. But he overlays for Tolstermeister 7. And I'm like, ooh, Tolstermeister 7. Alright. So here comes the hand. Top deck Eclipse Wyvern. And I'm like, oh my god. That's just the nuts. I'm going to like drop this Eclipse Wyvern with a Pulsar effect and just murder the whole field. But I was like, oh, I gotta get Dark Flare to the grave, like, back. I need to get Dark Flare out. Special Dark Flare, like, drop the Eclipse Wyvern and remove it and stuff like that. But I'm just like, how am I gonna get Dark Flare out? And then I'm like, okay, I guess I might as well just call the other one back. So, well, I Card Trooper first, get a Light Pulsar, and I'm like, I don't want to remove Light Pulsar. So I'm just gonna call the other Dark Flare Dragon back. And just send Light Pulsar from the deck and Eclipse Wyvern from hand, because I sent the Light Pulsar so I'd have another light in the deck and the graveyard just in case I need it. I don't think I do though. That other Light Pulsar actually ends up like winning the game for me. Light Pulsar's so good. And I removed just a random card out of his thing. Eclipse Wyvern, remove Red MD. Then remove them both to special. Well, remove Eclipse Wyvern and Chaos Sorcerer as special. Light Pulsar, which gives me the Red MD to hand. Remove Dark Flare, special Red MD. And then I use Red MD's effect to bring out Light Pulsar. And I'm like, I could just pretty much mow him over with this field of monsters if I just dropped. I could just bring out the Light Pulsar from my graveyard by discarding these last 2 cards in my hand and mow him over and win the game, because I was pretty sure he didn't have anything. But but now that I see he had Honest, I totally made the right move. So I'm like, okay, I could do that, but I might as well just go off on him. So I go Exabeetle, overlaying the 2 Pulsars, bring out Sangan from my graveyard, and then I send the Sangan to the graveyard using its effect, which allows Sangan's effect to resolve, which lets me search Night Assailant from the deck. And in my head, I'm like, this guy's gonna think that I'm about to just nut him in the face. So I send Raikou and Night Assailant to the graveyard. Night Assailant's effect activates, gives me the Raikou back, which gives me the fodder for the second Light Pulsar Dragon, which in turn, after I Gaia Charger, gives me Game Through Gores, and I just swing and win. But yeah, guys, this is the deck. I'll be taking it to regionals. I'm sure this video is long. If you want me to do more videos like this, I'll be happy to. They're really easy. But yeah, I'm sorry I didn't make a video in a long time. I'll be happy to make some more videos, and I'll be making some more videos soon. So, thanks for watching, guys, and peace.